I've been studying Japanese for over 5 years now, and I've done everything from Duolingo, flashcards, textbooks. I've gone to a Japanese language school. I've done immersion. I've done like Pimsleur audio courses. I've done apps like Duolingo and different conversation apps. And the main like driver that has resulted in a level of fluency. The main two things are exposing myself to the language every day, either by listening to podcasts or watching shows or reading like articles, news articles, or books. So exposing myself to the language every day, ideally like an hour or more, but at least like a half hour, you know, that, and then you combine that with some kind of memorization for vocab. I think Anki flashcards is the best, but there's other ways you can memorize vocab. And I think when you do those two things, that's how, when you're like actually in Japan and you're needing to speak Japanese, that's how your brain acts like a natural autocomplete, and the words that you need to say, like the natural expressions, actually come up without you having to think. You don't have to like think about grammar, think about how to build sentences, or think about words. They just come out because you've watched enough content and you've seen enough like real situations, so you know. Your brain naturally acquires when it acquires like when the appropriate time to say certain words are. So when you're in a certain situation, your brain sort of ramps up those neurons and fires the ones for the correct phrases. So you don't have to think, you don't have to like mathematically put together sentences or grammars in your head. You just they just come out. You're combining a lot of input by listening and reading and seeing situations, and which like phrases come out during those times. And then you're building your memory with like flashcards, because if you don't build the vocab, what will happen is you'll be in these situations and the words that you want to say, they won't come out because you just haven't memorized them. You need to support. It's really helpful anyway to support your brain that way, so you memorize, so you have access to the words that you want to say. Otherwise, yeah, you'll get in a situation where you're like, your brain will freeze up because you don't know the word, and you'll have to like resort to English, and people won't know what you're talking about because they don't understand English. So yeah, combining memory retention with lots of input, I think, is the best two things. And that's like natural input, like real situations via movies or TV or reading.